Things are coming together really nicely over here, and I'm looking at these giant scallops. Are we ready to get those going?
We are. So we've done scallops before on the show, and a few keys, just to go over again real quick. We want to make sure they're dry as possible. We don't salt them too early, and that you remove the little side muscle that's on about half of them.
That's right.
So let's play a little game. Why don't you identify which ones have the side muscle?
You taught me this trick like a year ago, and I'm so excited that I learned that because I've been eating side muscles for years.
Which has the texture of already been chewed bubble gum.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, nice. Because you were probably overcooking the scallop anyway.
Probably because I had too much wine.
Then it really doesn't matter, does it?
So it's this little piece on the side. That one didn't have one.
That one didn't have one. She just decided to tear what I paid for to be a jumbo sea scallop that's a kind of large one now. Thank you. If you touch me with those scallop hands,
I was contemplating
no
that.
dinner for you.
Okay, I'm gonna be good because I love me some scallops.
I'll say you wouldn't be getting any of this. I'm not a big fan of white pepper. You're losing a lot of the flavor of the peppercorn. I would rather see a little bit of color on the outside of my scallop and have the full flavor from it than to use white pepper. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna sear them on high heat.
Do you want to move this?
No, we're good there.
No? Okay.
Sear them on high heat in order to get a pretty sear.
Uh-huh.
Swirl it around the...
This is where I fail every time. I just have a hard time getting them seared pretty.
So high heat for your pan. If you don't have a griddle yet, then crank up the heat in your pan to high. Then put the oil in, let the oil get hot, which could be grapeseed canola, peanut, even avocado oil. And then when you put the scallop in, swirl it a little bit to make sure there's oil stain between the scallop and the pan.
Okay.
And don't move it. After you've swirled it and gotten it down,
right?
Don't touch it. Let it sit there. We're gonna cook it on high heat for about 2 minutes per side, which is not gonna be cooked through.
Right.
But it'll be a nice golden crust, and we'll be able to put it on a sheet tray to go into the oven to let that finish off.
I follow you.
Okay.
And also, let's get to this.
That's gonna be the importance of, do me a favor, grab that ladle.
Yeah.
And give me a ladle full of that adjusted chicken stock that we added some of those vegetables and mushroom stems to. So you're gonna put enough warm liquid until it just starts to cover the rice.
Is this enough?
Add one more for me.
Okay.
And we're stirring fairly regularly. This is where people are like, I'm not making risotto because I cannot stand at the range or range top or the cooktop.
There is an art to risotto.
45 minutes. It's really, it's about maintenance. We'll come to find out a lot of what has been said about risotto comes from just like, well, my mom taught me this and her grandmother taught her this way. And what I come to find out, one of the main reasons I discovered that they say you have to stir constantly is these old Italian housewives wanted to remove themselves from the rest of the family dynamic for the better part of 45 minutes because they just had to sit there. So now you've got a new dish for your repertoire, right?
Secrets out!
Secrets out. You really don't need to stir it that constantly. It's mainly towards the end.
Okay.
Because we got all the starch off back into that chicken stock, remember? So as we're adding it in, we're returning the starch to it. We're stirring it occasionally. And then there were some questions earlier about what do you do in a restaurant? Because think about it, you go to a restaurant, it doesn't take 45 minutes to get your risotto. Your risotto's ready in like 15 minutes, just along with everyone else's entree. That's because they partially cook it. So right now, this risotto, why don't you go ahead and taste that for me? That's gonna be pretty hot. We'll blow on that. Now, right now, this risotto is, it's about halfway through and it's so hard and crunchy that it's probably gonna be stuck to her teeth for at least a day, because it's like biting into a completely uncooked piece of pasta, and it's hot. So
you set me up for that. Oh, the burn.
Well, I told you to blow on it.
No, not ready.
It's sticky. If you want to make this restaurant style,
sticky.
Total accident. Take your risotto, pour it out on a sheet tray right now, and put it in your refrigerator, or let it cool at room temp. Then put it in your refrigerator and let it cool down. And now, when you have your dinner party and you're wanting to make risotto right before your guests come over, well, now you take that par-cooked risotto, now you're stirring it constantly for the last 5 to 10 minutes. That's gonna work all the starchiness and the creaminess out as you're adding more liquid to it. A little bit to help steam the scallops as well. And that is gonna be your secret if you wanna make risotto for a dinner party.
And I need a cube of ice, so we'll be right back. Stay with us.